Okie dokie. England v France. A couple of questions here. Let's do this fairly quickly. The first one, John, how can France be contained, with particular emphasis on Mbappe, of course?
With difficulty, and that's going to be the gamble that England are facing. I think this France is as good. If this is probably the best France team I think I've seen in my lifetime, and because I feel as though in every position they've got players that you want. It doesn't feel. We talked about it before. It doesn't feel like they're squeezing players in. We talked about injuries. We didn't even mention the fact that Giroud's only playing because Benzema got injured before the tournament as well.
And again, here he is smashing the goal record.
It seems nuts to me to say that they've not missed Benzema, because Benzema is incredible. But in terms of what they need in this tournament, Giroud, I think, offers more than Benzema insofar as like he fulfills the role that I don't think Benzema would have done. Like Benzema is an incredible moments player, whereas I think Giroud is a really good system player, and that benefits them. So I just think in every position they have a system. We've talked about Mbappe's upside, but we've also talked about his downside as well, and we've talked about how France can overcome that. So this is a really tough game, but the best team doesn't always win in a game as well. So the big question is going to be
England might not win. That's right.
England might not win. You're right, but the big question is going to be, how do you keep Mbappe quiet, and then how do you really exploit the downside of Mbappe? In that,
do you do it with Kyle Walker?
Yeah, and that will be why he's played. And we've talked already about how England are playing that sort of 3-1 structure in their build-up, so that they'll be pushing Luke Shaw on one side probably, and then leaving Kyle Walker in a slightly deeper position as a fullback. Although the big question there is going to be, and I actually thought this was really interesting from Poland today, in that Matty Cash, who was the right back, was actually quite aggressive in his positioning against Mbappe, and it wasn't the case that Mbappe actually caused them problems by beating them at pace in those wide areas and cutting inside. Actually, they got caught on the break, and then Mbappe was in a wide area. Or for his second goal was actually that had the ball passed to him in the box from a sort of settled position. Yeah. So I don't think you have to just sit deep and sit on Mbappe, but Mbappe is dangerous in lots of different situations, and if you give him that space to run into, he can cause problems. But Walker is, I'm convinced, included in the squad because he is probably one of the best players in the world at backwards defending in those transitional moments. So you go with that. John Stones on that side as well, has experience of playing against Mbappe as well, and you have to get lucky. Like this, it's tournament football. Like I feel as though what happened for England tonight was that they got lucky in the moment they needed to, and then it changed the game. And then England were obviously the better team. They have the better players, but Senegal had a good match plan. They came out, and if one of those chances goes in, it's a different game. England probably still win, but it's a very different game, and it will be that way in this game. Whoever scores the first goal, I think will probably go on to win the game. Okay. So England have to hope for the best when it comes to Mbappe. And
well, do they, Seb Stafford-Bloor? I'd like to ask you, what will worry France about England? Because of course, and listen, I put this to the chat earlier on. We have nearly 3,000 votes. Who will win the quarterfinal? 59% predict France. 41% predict England, although it's possible that we have a bit of an England bias in our live chat, so let's all bear that in mind and adjust the few percent points there. But it is worth remembering that England are a team that most teams would not want to face. They do have good players, they've got star players, they've got a good system, they're hard to score goals against. France certainly won't be taking the game lightly. What is it about England's team that would worry them, even if they are the favourite?
I would say those wide forwards, Joe. I think because clearly France are the favourites. I think it would be a major surprise if England were to beat them. But the problem that France have is that Jules Koundé played quite well today, but right back is the one area of the pitch where they don't have a world-class player playing in their natural position. And England, as we've discussed, have an abundance of these really skillful, dynamic footballers who, if you play Foden there, if you played Sterling there, if you played...
Do you think Saka will play there and start on the right?
No, I think Saka, I think most people would prefer Saka from the right, just because he seems a bit more comfortable.
Oh, Jules Koundé is at right back.
Yeah, Jules Koundé
Right.
is a centre-back really, as a specialist, but has been moved over to right back. Benjamin Pavard has played there a little bit for France in the past and wasn't particularly convincing. They lack a sort of a natural in that position.
So who should start there then?
For England,
Would it be Rashford?
I don't think so. I think I would give Foden another go, because I think Foden, of all the England players, he's not the quickest necessarily, but he's the one that likes to take players on individually. And that's what you probably need there. That's what would probably cause France maximum discomfort. The only other thing I say is no, we haven't got England on board, but we talked about this kind of network of French players up here, and I'm going to use the right side of the pen because that's right. That's a good thing. So I'm just going back to the kind of the little network of 4 French defenders, French players on the left-hand side of the pitch. I think England are quite well suited to hopefully interfere with that, because I imagine Trippier will play outside a back 3 with Kyle Walker as the outside centre half, and then of course
Henderson as well.
Yeah, I'm going to use Zielinski as Henderson and say that like you could use someone like Henderson, who I think one of his strengths is that kind of role, taking up space. Tonight we saw what his strengths with the ball and his ability to kind of operate as an 8.
I like to call him a no player, where he stops a play and then he goes no. You know what I'm saying?
Catchy.
Yeah, a no player.
England lead a
England need a lot of no players.
England, that is a good tongue twister. England need a lot of no players against Mbappe. Just very, very quickly, Mbappe's Mbappe's first goal is ludicrous. So these aren't the right players. But if you look at it on the television, you'll see that when the ball gets to him for this first goal, you'll see the...
if you look at it on the television,
You listen to the wireless.
you will see there that in anticipation of him bending a shot to the far corner, and I'm showing him kind of on the left of the penalty box, the point just before he hits his before he takes the shot. You'll see the Polish defenders try and cut off the angle. Here is the football to the far post.
Yeah,
and for good reason, because that's what he's trying to do. That's the way he's shaping the shape.
In the very next
Exactly
goal,
that, right? So Mbappe receives the ball, and I said at the time on Twitter, what do you expect of a goalkeeper when Mbappe has almost no backlift, is able to generate immense power, and also has as much disguise on his shots as he does? It's a brilliant finish. He is. I'm convinced that you can't subdue him with just one player. It's just like he's too superior. Like he's among the most dominant players I've ever seen at a World Cup, and he is absolutely terrifying. So I think you need to have Henderson with a fullback and a centre back at all times, just because otherwise he's one of the players that just takes over the game. He's unmanageable.
If you liked today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you did like it, you might be interested in How to Watch Football, Tifo's illustrated book. It's 52 rules for understanding the beautiful game on and off the pitch, and it is the perfect holiday gift. How to Watch Football is out now in stores and online. See the link in the description to find out more, and thank you for watching today's video.